Yeah, good morning to all of you and welcome to this session of NBF Conclave. Our topic is the TV plus digital future. It is going to be a very interesting session as all of us know that TV is declining in its present form. It is losing subscribers and digital news consumption is increasing. When I say digital news consumption, it means news consumption through mobile phones, computers, and connected TV. It can be through OTT, it can be through apps, Google, Facebook, or any other social media platform. For TV broadcasters, the biggest challenge is how to generate revenue in digital space. For a media company, there are generally two sources of revenue. One is through subscription and one is through ad. Everyone loves subscription revenue. But it is very difficult to ask your subscribers to pay for news, especially in this space. CNN learned it the hard way. The company launched CNN Plus, a live streaming app. It invested close to $300 million. And this app was closed down. It was shut within a month of its launch. And in India also, I think one or two media companies have launched similar kind of app. And these apps are not doing well. Then another comes ad revenue. The biggest problem in digital space is that for ad revenue, we have to depend on big tech firms. It is mainly Google, Facebook, or other platforms. Because it is these big tech firms who carry our content to our subscribers. And we have to continuously struggle with their, with their policies, algorithm, etc. And generally they collect, in many cases, they collect revenue from client and share with media companies. That is why there is always tussle between media companies and these big tech firms. So these are the challenges for TV broadcasters. And I would like to start with Mr. Wahi. So Mr. Wahi, what do you think is the way forward for TV broadcasters?
So thank you anyway for having me on this interesting panel. So I think your points you made are very, very valid. Clearly we are moving to a digital age, a lot of digital advertising. I was reading some data in terms of the growth that the digital media has seen. Depending upon what report you read, between whether it's today if you look at the total advertising revenue, digital is accounting for between 33 to 45%, growing between 20 and 30%, again depending upon the reports you need. So it is clearly here to stay. And I think that my sense is that as the as the consumers take on media and they absorb their consumption through mobile phones. Mobile phone usage is going up in India. It's 4.5 or almost 5 hours a day today that consumers are spending on their mobile phones. So I think all of these trends mean that the advertising, that the news media also needs to adapt in terms of about the content, right? Because the digital is here to stay. It's not going to decrease. It's only going to increase. Today it's 45%. Maybe it'll become 50%. But it's, in my view, it's not to say that it is at some point going to completely take over from the TV to advertising. It's about going to be, how do you adapt your content based on the way they will consume, and you know that 5G is going to transform that even more, faster, quicker. So from that perspective, I think that's the way I see it.
Yeah, but the basic question is how to make money. So Uday, can you enlighten us on this thing?
Hello. So before answering, I would like to give a perspective on technology itself. So the technology, when started, it was a broadcast, one to many, right? That's where cable and satellite has come. And today, TV is digital actually. And if you see today, I will look at Amazon, I think post Diwali, you may be seeing 50 million smart TVs. So it's all digital. So what is going to be different is the digital gives accurate metrics for advertisers. What technology brings is the cloud playouts for the news channels, gives the ability for the broadcasters to go hyper-local. See, today any national news broadcasters can immediately launch a district level news channel. So that is the future, and that also will give advertisers accurate metrics for them to monetize. That's I think that's the future.
Yeah, actually, this question should be pointed to Vikram Thai-ji. Actually, yeah, you see that there is a tussle between media firms and these big tech firms. And in many countries, governments have intervened and they made policy. So what is the status in our country? I mean, we are in the process of making a policy. So when it is going to happen and what is the, I mean.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I like this young blood speaking so well, so frankly. I think that's the angst of the generation. I mean, they would not like any type of discrimination. I mean, whatever might have happened in past, but it is an egalitarian society, and everybody has a right to have its voice. On this issue, we all know that Australia had this thing, that Australia prepared a law because the tech giants were not agreeing to the bargaining arrangement which was being offered by their competition commission, and then the parliament issued a law, and then that has been done. Here also, as I understand, and I think all of you would be aware, the matter is before the Competition Commission of India. So but let us await that. Today there was some article. Yesterday there was a decision of the Competition Commission related to Google, but that was on a different thing altogether. That was on anti-monopoly. Yeah, but there is already a matter where I think some of the broadcasters federations have already gone there. And let's await the type of investigation and the results which come from Competition Commission. But yes, it is definitely an alarming factor where if the content is mine and you piggy ride on my content, but give me pittance, it worries. But let us see how it shapes up, but we are quite concerned about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Wahi, what do you think? I mean, what is the experience in other countries like USA and Europe?
Struggling with this. France has also, I mean, in addition to Australia, has also now forcing the tech platforms to share a larger chunk of the revenues, building more transparency on that. I think it's a bit of a chicken and egg, because what's also happening is that we are going to see stringent privacy laws coming. So while a lot of tracking will happen in terms of who you are, what you're watching, but the privacy laws will also create more firewalls, which will also make it more difficult to do targeted marketing, etc. down the line. I think most governments are maybe 2 or 3 steps behind, because tech is definitely ahead of the curve. So how do you catch up? How do you learn from other countries like France, Australia, quickly bring in some of these regulations to enable better sharing of revenues, not to control what's being spent, but to enable better sharing of revenues is the way I think the whole world is moving ahead.
So, Uday, do you think that subscribers will be willing to pay for news? Because for entertainment, generally subscribers pay, whether it is Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc. But in the case of news, what is your opinion? Or what should be the news content that subscribers are willing to pay?
So I think it depends on the content. Like the way TV9 is started, the premiumness of the content depends on that, the subscription. But there's a lot of opportunity to monetize. As I said, every 10 seconds, you can take the heartbeat of every single client, what is being watched, you can integrate EPG. So there's a lot of potential on the advertising supported news as well. And connected TV is going to go really big. That is a big CPM rates going to come, because they really correlate satellite, cable as TV, and when connected TVs really take off, there's a good opportunity on the monetization. But there's a lot of resistance today for a news on a subscription, unless it's a really premium in nature. But
So recently I had one of the tech giants, I don't want to name them, when I had a conversation with them and I said, hey, my numbers are not, growing, it's just stuck at a certain level. In fact, it's receding. So they said, our algorithm has changed and we are now ranking only non-news content, not the news content. Do you think that controlling the narrative of what the people want, so that they'll only show them what is non-news and news is sort of being controlled?
Not really. I mean, that cannot be the objective.
Will we allow that?
I mean, we need to very closely look at what you're saying. We'll have a separate discussion on that. But definitely it cannot be a situation where a certain narrative or a certain type of content is only being allowed to be shown at the exclusion of others.
Very interesting and informative session. And thank you very much for attending this session. Thank you.